Hello and welcome to another one-off special that I like to call, Advert Bloomers, a look at the wealth of TV and cinema commercials both old and new. I'm sure the first response by many will be, oh God, not another show about advertising. But I assure you dear viewer, our special makes little use of well-known and well-worn ads, and contains none of those hackneyed 1001 or OXO commercials which have been seen on countless previous series about advertising. Instead, painstaking research has uncovered forgotten gems, many of which have never been shown on television before. Let's get on with it, shall we? Our first half of the show looks at fabulous British cuisine. Well, I say fabulous, but if British food is that good, why aren't Bombay and Beijing full of English takeaways? Perhaps it was because, in the 1950s, Heinz used to recommend recipes such as this.
Introducing 3 tomato stars, San Marzano, Genovese, Lampadino. 3 of the world's tastiest tomato strains grown specially for Heinz cream of tomato soup.
Finest tomatoes, full cream milk, butter and rare spices go into Heinz tomato soup. And here's your Heinz hint. Try poaching eggs in it.
Ooh, good and tasty.
Just break them into the hot soup and poach till set. What a blend of flavours.
Salmonella from raw eggs cracked into the great taste of Heinz cream of tomato soup. Somehow, I don't think that's a good idea. Saying that, however, our very own Chef Quackers tried this recipe out earlier under health and safety conditions.
And it came out just fine. Thank you very much, Brian.
You're very welcome, Quackers. And now, from one chef to another as we look at Lloyd Grossman sauces and salad dressings. You may think that they look similar to Paul Newman's famous sauces, but there is a difference. All of Newman's profits go to charity, whereas Grossman's profits go to another good cause, Lloyd's Bank. But how were Lloyd Grossman sauces advertised? Let's take a look.
Oh, is that the time? They'll be here soon. What should we eat?
How about pasta with tomato and basil sauce?
Good idea.
I agree.
You might want to make the chunks a bit bigger. No, use the extra virgin olive oil. I think the sea salt. You forgot the garlic.
Steady on, Lloyd.
Don't let it boil.
You know what, Lloyd? You do it.
So he did. Lloyd Grossman sauces.
Well, I don't know about you, but that ad left me with a funny taste in my mouth. And it's not just the sauce I'm talking about. Now with all these media chappies fronting all these food adverts, you might think it helps to boost their career. Well, think again. Because this next toughy written ad, get it, did for Rodney Buy's career what politicians do for their country's tourist industry.
Hello, faggot lovers everywhere.
He's bold.
I've a message for you from Birdseye. Birdseye faggots will appeal to your whole family. They've made them with lashings of gravy, but they've gone easy on the spice because kids don't like them too spicy, apparently. Birdseye even suggests that people who don't like faggots could enjoy these.
My great-grandfather didn't like them.
They live in hope.
It's a generational thing.
You know, that could be right.
And this next ad didn't help Boots the chemist out much either.
Shopping used to really depress me. I used to think if only I could keep to a diet. Then I heard about aids and tried them. Aids help you keep to a calorie-controlled diet. You don't eat so much at meals, and I didn't want fattening things. I enjoy shopping now because I can wear fashionable clothes. Thank goodness for AIDS.
Oh dear, I wonder if the copywriter for AIDS had been on the sherry? Talking of which, he may be a legendary cinematic figure, but Orson Welles spent most of the 1960s flogging any old garbage, including sherry which tasted like it had been fermented in a disused swimming pool.
The summer temperature here at the Domecq vineyards can reach 100 degrees. But this blazing heat brings forth fruitfulness. Domecq pale and dry. For sherry you can sip chilled in the noonday heat.
Something tells me he had a dodgy bank balance.
Nature's very wonderful. Domecq probably the finest of the phenos.
A genius but a liar as well. And Orson could also be a rather irascible man, giving advertising men short shrift, as this following never-before-seen footage proves.
We know a remote farm in Lincolnshire where Mrs. Buckley lives. Every July, peas grow there. This is a lot of shit.
Orson, you did 6 last year, and by far and away the best, and I know the reason.
The right reading for this is the one I'm giving it. I spent 20 times more for you people than any other commercial I've ever made. You are such pests. Now, what is it you want?
No, I think
in your depths of your ignorance, what is it you want? Whatever it is you want, I can't deliver because I just don't see it.
And it doesn't get much better from there either.
Could you emphasize a bit in July?
Why? That doesn't make any sense. Sorry. There's no known way of saying an English sentence in which you begin a sentence with in and emphasize it. Get me a jury and show me how you can say in July, and I'll go down on you. That's just idiotic, if you'll forgive me by saying so. That's just stupid. In July. I'd love to know how you emphasize in and in July. Impossible. Meaningless.
I think all they were thinking about was that they didn't want to...
He isn't thinking.
This only goes to show that not all voiceovers for adverts help boost careers. However, I suspect that one commercial helped a certain George Lazenby get the role of James Bond. We'll look further into the world of cinema a little later on, but for now, take a look at this.
New ice cream, fruit parfait. Cool, exciting, sophisticated.
Sophisticated, eh? No, it blooming well wasn't. It was frozen margarine with a cherry stuck on the top.
Cool, exciting, sophisticated, special. Specially made for you. New fruit parfait. Look for the fruit parfait, girl. No.
To quote Donkey from Shrek, parfaits may be the most delicious thing on the whole damn planet. But back then, it flopped because we Brits wouldn't say foreign words like parfait in public. It was just the same with quenelle, if you get my drift. Of course, this was the 1960s, the height of the space race. The Russians had Soyuz, the Americans had Apollo, and we Brits had...
Stand by for launching. It's Zoom with 3 new flavors. And free picture cards. Start collecting famous aircraft. There's a free card with every Zoom. On sale now.
Jerry Anderson, what would we do without you? But never mind rockets burning up on re-entry, because this one melted before you even got back to your seat. As you've seen just now, Zoom came in 3 flavors, red flavor, blue flavor and yellow flavor, or only one flavor if you were watching this ad on black and white telly. Hey, who turned off the color?
Hi there, fans. Stand by for Cool Off with Lion's Mane. New Supersonic Zoom, the big ice lolly with free picture cards. Hey, get this. New Super Sea-Jet, a 3-flavor knockout. And the first ice lolly specially for girls. It's bad. Unfasten your seatbelts, lolly lickers. Cool it with Lion's Mane. On sale now.
Ah, that's better. Now while we're on the subject of ice cream, who fancies one of these? Not me, that's for sure.
It's from Walls. It's new, tasty too. It's the finger.
Good God, it's many pops all over again.
Cool, refreshing finger taste. That strawberry finger flavor. It's the finger from Walls.
Jeepers. Crackers. How disgusting. And why? Because the finger contained traces of tartrazine and other colorants, that's why. Before the Ribena berry folk came to our screens, the 1950s brought us the Ribena black currants, who were a bit, well, judge for yourself, as this ad may not be very PC by today's standards.
Presenting Ribena's Black Currants. Ribena's pure black currant juice. Ribena. Coughs and colds, fatigue and flus. Ribena keeps away. Ribena, delicious.
To be quite honest, I'm surprised they let us show that. Now, who remembers going on rathergood.com? Well, when Joel Veitch and his team were commissioned by WCTS to create some adverts for Crusher milkshakes, the end results looked something a little bit like, well, this.
I want some Crusher, a little Crusher. Milk keeps me fit and tastes so great. I want some Crusher, a glass of Crusher. It's tough enough to make milkshake. Add milk, or we'll Crusher.
Well, there's only one word for that, rather good.
That's 2 words, Brian.
I know that, director. Sheesh. Ruin the joke, why don't you? Anyways, it was good, which is more than can be said for this Vimto ad.
When you're thirsty, look for this sign. Drink sparkling Vimto every time.
Some drinks rot your teeth, but not Vimto. Although I wonder if the inventor Mr. John Noel Nichols ever realized that its name anagrams into vomit, a sick sort of drink. Speaking of which, alcohol. As a kid you probably longed to be old enough to buy alcoholic drinks. But when you finally are old enough, you discover that the ones they sold are even more disgusting than non-alcoholic ones. And Baby Sham was not so much a drink as a device for getting your partner to assume a position in bed. Although you'd need a damn lot more than a Baby Sham to see the world like you're going to see in this ad. Good God, did they knock this up for a task on The Apprentice or something? Those actors have got no performing experience, and I should know. I spent 3 weeks at RADA. Admittedly I was cleaning the toilets, but there you go.
I'd love a Baby Sham.
Well, step out of the green screen and go and get some.
There's a world of magic in a glass of Baby Sham. A world of magic.
Well, all I can say is, Mary Poppins it is not. And before we head into the break, here's Alf Sinclair, a clown who was presumably intended to frighten children out of ever having Kellogg's cornflakes for breakfast again.
You get up at 4 o'clock in the morning at the circus, and first of all, you unload the wagons. And the time it's finished, I go in, the wife cooks some cornflakes with hot milk, I start to have it, and, oh, come on, the show's going on, you got no time to eat. I put the makeup on quick, a quarter of an hour, I'm in the ring, band plays and away we go.
So let me get this straight. Mr. Sinclair gets up at 4 in the morning, starts to have his cornflakes and hot milk, then is told that the show's starting. So either the circus starts at 5:30 in the morning, or it takes him 16 hours to unload the van. I'll leave you to figure that one out during the break. Welcome back to Advert Bloomers, the show that's not so much
Or mash, get smashed.
as
Or get smashed, get smashed.
This next half of the show looks at toy ads from Christmas past and present. In the 1960s, these ads always showed pictures of smiling happy children who got the gift they asked Santa for. Sadly, The one thing I never wanted to receive was a lousy piece of fluff on a string.
Squirmels. Come on out here, Squirmels.
Can I make squirmels do that?
Yes, just hook on its string.
Well, hold the phone. Hold there, phone. Why is the boy 8 years old when his voice is 16 years old? One of TV's mysteries, I suppose. And also, who cast his sister?
What's that? It's squirmels. I don't believe it.
Nor do I. Now, who remembers Scalextrix? At Christmas, the sitting room carpet became Brahms' hatch. Unfortunately, those with thick pile carpets found that the cars kept pulling off the road and picking up bits of fluff. Not unlike Hugh Grant. But just whose idea was it for a Scalextric advert to look like this?
Congratulations, it's a boy.
It was just a fling. I'm so sorry, but... Do you mean sorry? It's a boy. I can get a Scalextric. A Scalextric.
Okay. So we have an advert for a kid's toy, rated 15 by the BBFC. But according to one of our researchers, that was to make the rating process easier. Anything with some kind of objectionable content would be past 15 as an advert. In some cases, it would be submitted as a film with any kind of rating, especially if it pushed things too far. Speaking of pushing things too far, there are toys that can't even see the line in the sand. In fact, they're out of sand and into tropical tundra regions. We start off in the 2000s. If you're familiar with Nick Jr. back then, a majority of adverts that aired on the channel were mainly for products produced by the Spanish toy company Famosa. Famosa is most well known for producing dolls, and their most infamous was, a baby boy that has an actual willy on it that wheezes the water you give it, and its name is Baby Wee Wee. Check out the official advert for it. Christ on a bike, what am I doing with my life? And that's just the start of the absolute fail in the toy industry. Then, we go forward to 2010, with Goliath Games' Doggy Doo, originally known in Germany as Cackle Dackle, and distributed in the UK by John Adams Leisure. Essentially, it's a game where you feed a dog some putty-like substance and squeeze its lead to make it poop out the putty. Yep, a game where all a dog does is go number twos.
It's the Doggy Doo game. Let's play Doggy Doo. Feed him, roll the die. What's that sound? Doggy did what doggies do. Doggy Doo by Goliath.
But it hasn't stopped Goliath. There's also Gooey Louie, where you pick the bogies out of a boy's nose.
Gooey Louie just sneezed. Look what came out of his nose. Gooey's. Pull one out, but watch out. Pick the wrong one, and he'll flip his lid. Oh no, his brains flew out. Go ahead and pick a winner. Gooey Louie by Goliath.
And if you think that's weird, there's also Dirty Diapers, where you have a baby pooping, farting, and weeing into its snappy, or, well, doing that with little discs. Seriously, what kind of people are they aiming for? Who even finds these funny? Not me. And now for a horror beyond comprehension. Remember when I showed you Torchy the Battery Boy on Kids Show Bloomers last year? Well, I think I may have found the bride of Torchy.
Listen to Remco's Baby Laugh a Lot. You're listening to Baby Laugh a Lot. She's the funniest doll you've ever seen. Just push the button and she starts to giggle. Get Baby Laugh a Lot by Remco.
Oh my God, where's Esther Rantzen when you actually need her? I'm willing to bet that Baby Laugh a Lot grew up and, together with those poor child actors, became regular audience members of Mrs. Brown's Boys. I think now I'll just go and hide behind the sofa whilst I introduce Daleks to do the next ad. Where's my teddy?
Thank you, Earth Bunny Rabbit. Now, there is nothing us Daleks won't resort to in order to conquer the universe. Wait, scratch that. There is one thing we won't do, and that is to smoke. So, whose idea was it to feature a Dalek in this advert for Hamlet cigars? Exterminate! For one thing, Daleks do not sound like that. We are clear and concise, and we have since conquered stairs with CGI. Mind you, I do like that robotic arm. I should get one at Scaro Home Care.
Hamlet, the mild cigar.
However, that other fake voice is the last straw. Whoever devised this advert must be exterminated! 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 But I'm rambling, of course. Right then, I'm off. I've got an appointment with the doctor.
Has he gone?
You're okay, Brian. The scary Dalek's gone.
Thank God for that. Talking of things that sounded otherworldly, there was no reason at all why the stylophone had to hit the shops. The size of a half-pound box of chocolates. It was so tinny and nasty that it made an old-fashioned comb and paper sound like a Stradivarius in comparison. And even worse, they had to get Rolf Harris to advertise it. So if you're offended by the sight of him, look away now.
Recognise this? One of the first tunes I ever played on stylophone. Stylophone, the unique musical instrument anyone can play. The stylophone pocket electronic organ by Dubrek.
If you've not heard a cat chewing a bee before, it sounds a lot like a stylophone.
I heard that, Brian.
And although it was crap, it did achieve a brief moment of popularity when David Bowie incorporated it into his song Space Oddity. No, stop. I don't want to get copyright claimed for that. Of course, it's not just the instruments that can sound nasty. There are advertising jingles that have lasted for as long as the stylophone's popularity, and beyond. And sounded just as bad. I'm talking about the Gocompare of children's channels. Lely Kelly.
Shoes, you get the makeup mobile and perfume makeup. There's eyeshadow and the blusher, a fab mirror and 2 great brushes to apply your makeup. Callie, the cutest shoes, oh yeah. You can play with us, we are so cool, oh yeah. Get Lely Kelly shoes, the only ones with the amazing makeup mobile. Oh yeah!
Oh no, more like... Oh, hey Brianna, what are you doing here?
I thought I'd watch that Lely Kelly advert with you. Sorry, Ben. Now, if you were a kid in the 1960s, you had to make your own entertainment, or you could spend the day playing with cheap gifts from comics, like this one.
Girls, it's free! The Mermaid Ring with the lovely pearly center. Free in Diana, the famous picture story paper for girls, with exciting new ideas and stories, fascinating features about wildlife, pony riding, swimming. They're all in Diana, with the lovely free gift, the Mermaid Ring. Diana, the big picture paper for girls. Out tomorrow, 6pence.
Some gift, a cheap plastic ring with a fake gem on it. And I suspect it folded because it had a neat crease down the middle, and also because not all girls like wildlife, pony riding or swimming.
And I know you certainly don't, Brianna. Now, ever wondered what caused the reality show 16 and Pregnant to be a thing? As if it ever needed to be a thing in the first place. Grab-a-loop was not so much a game as an excuse to plant a seed in Lauren Doligen's mind for a new MTV hit.
Green. Grab-a-loop. 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 Grab-a-loop.
Milton Bradley's got a great new game, we call it Grab-a-loop. You try to grab or snitch or nab the other people's loot.
Grab-a-loop. 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 Grab-a-loop.
You take your turn and sing right up the color of the loop. But when it's done, if you don't have none, why then you're in the soup.
As you can see, Milton Bradley makes the best darn games in all the world.
I love Grab-a-loop.
Get Grab-a-loop.
I won!
It's by MB.
A bit bold of them to say that Milton Bradley makes the best darn games in all the world. Especially when they were asked by a certain future US president in the 1980s to make a game based on his own image. I wonder if he was compensating for something? This is Donald Trump the game, where you try and make millions whilst looking at Trump's grizzled face.
Everything's set for tonight, Mr. Trump. I wonder what Trump's game is this time.
Trump's got a new game. Hey, Trump's got a new deal.
What's your game, Donald?
Trump has a new game. What is it?
Is it an airline? A new convention center? Mr. Trump. Is it a convention center? Mr. Trump, please.
My new game is Trump, the game.
Trump, the game where you deal for everything you've ever wanted to own. Because it's not whether you win or lose, it's whether you win.
Yes!
Play Trump, the game from Milton Bradley.
I think you'll like it.
Mr. Trump's proceeds from Trump the game will be donated to charity.
No prizes for guessing who owned said charity. I'm willing to bet that those poor kids in US public schools were forced to play this as part of their curriculum while Donald Trump was in the White House. In 1979, the folks at Kenner had the bright idea to take the villain from that classic Jaws in space film Alien, and make an 18-inch action figure out of it to market to kids. Why they would do that is beyond me, but you have to admit, it did look cool. And it still does. Now no head biting you. Needless to say, it didn't go down too well at the time, and they are extremely rare to come by these days. Good luck trying to find one on eBay during the break, but in the meantime, check out the ad for it.
Kenner presents new alien action figure.
Bayonets blow! Quick, shut the airlock! The alien's locked out now! He got through! Shh! Give up! Alien can't be beat! We'll zap him with the light! Don't, he'll destroy the spaceship! We've lost! Better find another ship! Let's try the kitchen! Another triumph for Alien!
Alien action figure. New from Kenner.
Welcome back to Advert Bloomers, the show that's anything but alright on the night. For the first part of our next half of the show, we visit the movies. For this feature presentation, a collection of bygone cinema ads that have never been shown on UK television before, unless this is a repeat broadcast, in which case I'm lying. The magic of cinema. Glamorous people, beautiful scenery. The only trouble is, while you're looking at an irresistible, no expenses spared Hollywood picture on the screen, you're actually sitting in a highly resistible, all expenses spared flea pit like this one. Now, you may have wondered why local businesses in places like Leicester wanted to advertise in the cinema. It was probably because ads like this convinced them that it was a good idea.
It's probably cheaper than you think.
Unfortunately, they probably thought it was going to cost less than 8 and 6. which is why they made these sorts of ads.
For a salon that carries out hairstyling at the highest degree and employs a highly skilled staff to cope with any creation, coupled with a first-class service, all at moderate prices, make an appointment with us.
Come to Jane's, 10 Long Street. Don't miss our Tuesday afternoon special. Blue rinse and blow dry, only 2 and 6 for pensioners, and only 50 yards from this cinema.
Where do I begin with this one? Not only does it advertise a place that specializes not so much in hair-dos as hair-don'ts, but they see it fit to interrupt the advert with their own anorak-like voiceover. Luckily, back in the 1960s, your local picture house didn't just show local adverts, there were national ones too, brought to you by Pearl and Dean. And young Urs? Pearl and Dean are still going strong, but whatever happens to young Urs? Couldn't he sing along correctly to the company sick tune? Thank you. Or was he sacked after performing an obscene puppet show during a kiddies' Saturday morning matinee? We will never know, but Pearl, Dean and young Urs brought to the screen such exotic treats as a trip to Butlins. Roll the film.
I can't wait to go to Butlins.
From the first moment of your arrival, Butlins Wonderland is yours. Set amid flowers and trees is your holiday home. A short step from your own garden chalet are all the free entertainments of a Butlins holiday.
So is it a holiday home or a garden chalet?
For children, excitement of the fun fair.
Not exactly Caesar's Palace, is it?
For parents, freedom to enjoy their own leisure.
You can also have the same food you have at home, only with added sand.
Quiet, comfort, relaxation, clownish antics, irresistible childish laughter.
Because nothing says childish laughter like a poor man's Dennis the Menace.
Yes, there's so much fun to remember at Butlins. Fun in the sun and water. Fun in putting, contentment. For children, the end of a perfect day. For you, invitation to dance. Meanwhile, your children sleep peacefully and safely.
Unaware that their babysitter for that evening is Michael Barrymore.
This is your holiday. Friendly companions, wonderful atmosphere, full of fun, enjoyment, and the free entertainment of a Butlin holiday.
Seems like everything you want in's not at Pontins, but Butlins. But some say that once young Urs had left, Pearl and Dean lost their edge. Judge for yourself with this ad from Belfast.
And the toast is the bride, in a gown from
the Jean Miller Bridal Salon. On that special day, we'll dress your little lady to look like a princess.
Wait a minute, is that the same voiceover artist? No, it couldn't be. Now, if your local flea pit happened to be one belonging to ABC, you could always check out their latest releases in the ABC Film Review magazine, which, rather surprisingly, also features its own BBFC certificate.
You enjoyed the movies, like to know what the stars do.
Did they employ page 3 cameraman for this advert?
What's new? Then read all about it in the ABC Film Review. Collect those colored pin-ups of the guys and gals who send you. Hollywood gossip gets here right on cue. So read all about it in the ABC Film Review. The latest display.
Hang on a minute, record releases? This isn't HMV. And not even in the cinema can I get away from crossword ads. More about those in a bit.
What the big time stars all do. Every month just 5 at ABC Film Review. Every month just 5 Film Review.
I think that's 2.5 pence in new money. Now then, if haute couture is your bag, baby, then have I got the advert bloomer for you.
Fashion, dresses, suits and coats in latest fashion for you, for you.
Milan, Paris, New York, Leicester, the world's greatest catwalks. Okay, maybe make an exception for that last one. Of course, where there's a fashion industry, there's bound to be a movie studio.
For personal attention by experts in all photographic and audio equipment, see and hear a comprehensive range of both, on show within 100 yards of this cinema. And for individual attention to your black and white or colour processing, Reeves is the name to trust. Reeves are Birmingham service agents for leading manufacturers of equipment.
A pity they can't get their own audio right.
And our outside sales staff are at your service on request. Our own preview theatre is at your disposal.
Not many people know this, but Hitchcock lived in Birmingham and used to bring all his films there to be developed. And before you get your hopes up, I meant Eric Hitchcock the fishmonger. Now, remember when I said that some people hate British food? Well, for those people, the only time they enjoy British food is at the movies. And that's because it's so dark that you can't see what you're eating. Which is why you leave the cinema looking like this.
I don't get paid enough for this.
Although I certainly wouldn't want to dine at this place.
For perfection in wine, food and atmosphere, this must be the restaurant of your choice.
Yes. Wine and dine her at the Criterion Steak and Lounge Bar. Prawn cocktails a speciality.
Now this is really bugging me. Who's doing all those voiceovers?
Well, don't look at me. A man's got to make a living somehow.
Fancy that, I'm back in my flat again. That's the magic of television, ladies and gentlemen. But here's something that isn't as magic. Sometimes when you want to turn on to Channel 4 and watch some countdown, you await the tea time teaser. Once it passes, the adverts roll onto you. Then, you come into face against what could be one of the worst pet peeves in UK adverts right now. Those annoying word searches. These adverts are almost always the same thing. They bait anyone by saying that you can win a huge amount of money, like £8,000 or £15,000. Then, there's a word search puzzle where you can easily see the word. Then, they make you call an expensive hotline which almost always steals your money and you never win anything. A majority of these adverts make no mention of how expensive even calling the number is. What is sad is that these adverts have been around for many years, at least since 2012 or 2014. And they mostly target channels that appeal to an older crowd, mainly Channel 4, Channel 5, ITV3, Challenge, Sky Mix, etc. The company that is responsible for them is named Winnington Limited. There have been loads of reports on various websites of people trying to call the numbers on any word search puzzle they offer, but the line never gets through. Then you call the number again and they charge you twice. This is why these word search puzzles from this company are a scam, and I am quite disgusted why these are still being shown on television to this day. Please ASA, ban these adverts for good. Wait, who am I kidding? They wouldn't listen to me, but here's somebody who would, Sheila's Wheels.
For ladies who enjoy their cars, Sheila's Wheels are superstars. Girls are bored beyond endurance, paying too much for car insurance. For bonds and car insurance deals, girls get under Sheila's Wheels. Women make the safest drivers, we could save a bunch of fibers. For bonds and car insurance
Seriously, come back neighbors, all is forgiven. Though having said that, there are more annoying ads to come out of Australia. In fact, there are ones that would give Barry Scott a run for his money, because they would easily make you go deaf.
It's barbecue time at Cole.
When you light up your cold summer barbecue.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Normie Rowe.
Thought of Aussie beef takes over you.
That's Cole's Aussie beef, Normie.
How about a rump steak?
Delicious and tender.
A special snack or burger?
It's the mince, mate.
Send shivers down your taste bones.
Can I join in here, Normie?
No added hormones.
I mean, why else are these two guys shouting at me? Can't they just get near or the boom mic and talk normally? It hurts my brain.
So for the perfect Aussie Barbie, get down the coals.
My ears are bleeding. Nah, only joking. Now, I said at the start of the program that I wouldn't be showing any OXO adverts, but I couldn't resist showing you this one with Sooty and Harry Corbett.
Hello there. Sooty's just making a stew for my supper. I must say I'm not very keen on it. It seems to be all vegetables. Oh, that's different. He's going to put an OXO cube into it.
Knowing Mr. Corbett's luck, it's probably going to be vegetable flavour.
Right, crumble it into the pan, Sooty. Pop the pan on the stove. That's fine. But you know, I don't feel like waiting until that's cooked. I'm jolly hungry. Oh, the magic. Of course. Well, you tap it with the magic wand then.
Izzy wizzy, let's get busy.
Is it done? Well, let me have a taste then. Ooh, delicious. What a lovely meaty flavour. Move!
What? Brian confiscated my didgeridoo, that's why I'm playing the xylophone instead.
Yes, but you're playing the wrong tune. It should go like this. Sing along if you know the words. See you after the break. Oh, so he does talk. Welcome back to Advert Bloomers, the show that looks at adverts from yesteryear and today, and asks, what the hell were they thinking? For the last half of the show, we look at public information films. Back in the day, these frightening films were all commissioned by Her Majesty's government and made by the Central Office of Information, a group of civil servants who must have graduated from the Hammer Horror School. And I do mean horror school, because these films were transmitted during the day, when even young children could see them. Heads going through windscreens, children being approached by perverts.
If someone you're not expecting offers you a lift...
Hello, Terry. Want a lift home?
Not now, Mr. Duncan. My mum says I'm not allowed. Say no. Don't go.
Chip pans that could leave kiddies looking horribly scarred for life, grannies falling down the stairs and landing on top of you, and Grandad setting the whole house alight with cigarettes. All in all, they produced a generation of children who were frightened to leave the house but equally terrified to stay in it. Although it wasn't just your hometown that public information films could turn into a place of terror.
Petrol on a boat is dangerous, so don't spill any. Use a funnel. Check for leaks in fuel lines and connections. Wipe up splashes carefully.
No problem there then. Oh dear.
Petrol or gas. Check for leaks. Take care.
I'll bet you that the COI could even find pure evil in a biro cap. They even made us frightened of innocent-looking solvents.
Go, try it.
If you don't talk to your child about solvent abuse, someone else will. A leaflet will be delivered to you soon. It contains information you need to help your child say no.
Which is just as well really, because thanks to accidentally inhaling the intoxicating fumes, my model Harrier jumper jets always looked like they'd been built by Picasso, or flown by Oliver Reed after he'd had one too many. But speaking of vehicles, this next public information film inspired a new sport for those people who hate humanity.
When you park your car on the pavement, even for the shortest time, it can be a nuisance and a danger to pedestrians, especially to old or disabled people. Or the blind.
I'm sorry, he may be blind but he's overacting.
Or pram pushers. So when you park your car, please, leave the pavement for pedestrians.
Now, we all know that smoking can kill. That's why, in the 1980s, at the time of such films as Blade Runner, the COI were commissioned to create something which was a certainly unique but equally disturbing anti-smoking public information film in its own right. The Natural-Born Smoker, which was some kind of bloodless humanoid mutant with looks horrifying enough to haunt your subconscious while you're trying to sleep at 2 a.m. Luckily, it's not 2 a.m. At least, I hope this isn't going out at that time. So let's check it out.
The first natural-born smoker will have a larger nose to filter out impurities. Self-cleaning lungs.
And yet he still wheezes.
A highly developed index and middle finger. Smaller ears, because they don't listen. Extra eyelids to protect the eye from irritating smoke. And of course, an inbuilt resistance to heart disease, lung cancer, and thrombosis. Unfortunately, the first natural-born smoker hasn't yet been born.
Well, if that doesn't convince you to stop smoking, I don't know what will. Smoking, however, is a very slow way of killing yourself. Guns, on the other hand.
You'd hardly give a 5-year-old a bicycle and then expect him to get himself safely to school. It just wouldn't be good sense. And you'd hardly give 10-year-olds cricket bats and let them practice in front of your greenhouse. That wouldn't be good sense either.
I wonder if this is where Fireman Sam got the idea.
So why give a 15-year-old an air weapon and then let him play with it as though it were just a harmless toy? That's asking for trouble. People who know about guns know about safety too. At a shooting club, they will learn how to handle a gun safely and how to improve their shooting skills. So if you're thinking of giving a teenager an air weapon, get this leaflet from your local police station and find out how to enjoy guns safely. Gun sense is good sense.
That's right, gun sense is good sense. Playing now at all good hospital theatres. But I digress. Get it? Silly hobby, but I've been doing it for years. Anyway, one branch of the COI was the Colonial Film Unit, which didn't concern itself with the terrors of, say, travelling on a bus. Rather, they created films like this.
London, the largest city in the world, has a splendid road service of passenger buses for the millions of people, visitors, shoppers, workers and others, needing quick and comfortable transport from place to place. Not only do the buses bring people into London, they also carry passengers out through less crowded streets to the surrounding countryside. On return journeys, they bring passengers back. There is a regular service to or from the town. Here in the near countryside, 2 African students studying in London have been enjoying a walk in the fields and now have to get back to their studies.
Seriously, what's with the cuts to black and flashes of white? They hurt my eyes.
A bus is now due. They have just time to catch it. They know that buses run to carefully prepared timetables and are always punctual. People never have long to wait.
That's not true. I rode on a London bus once, and it took 3 hours to pick me up.
Regular stopping places along the roads, people wait quietly in line. Buses, of course, enter London at different parts. It's well to be sure that you get in one that is going to the part you want to reach. The people enter the bus in an orderly manner, no crowding or pushing out of turn, and the conductor controls everything in a cheerful way.
I really hope Jerry Anderson wasn't in charge of the audio at the Colonial Film Unit.
It is this friendly cooperation between passengers and conductor and driver that makes bus travelling comfortable. Collecting fares and giving tickets is very important business, and when passengers help the conductor by having their money ready, his task is made easier. This man is thoughtless, but though he is not ready with his fare, he still asks for it in a friendly manner. The driver keeps a steady speed. He knows when he should reach the next stop and drives so that he will be there right on time. People rely on his correct timekeeping at the stopping places. Travelling by bus is one of the best and cheapest ways of seeing the country. Time goes pleasantly in looking at the interesting scenes that have passed by. Another stop. Again, no rushing nor crowding to get in first. A child's pushcart could easily be a nuisance, but the conductor sees that it isn't, and no one is hindered at all. A mother with a little child always hopes for a seat near the door. A kind passenger changes his seat to help her. Just thought for others. Wherever there are little children, people are kindlier. Africans in particular have a great love for them, and somehow small children have a quick instinct and seem to know when they are with friends. The roads begin to look busier. London is getting nearer. Another stop will soon be in sight. There are times when friendly cooperation is specially necessary. A cripple needs much kindness in his affliction.
And we'll stop right there, as that term's also not very PC. But there is another public information film that shows roadside users helping out the disabled in the best way they can.
Here's a road sign that not everybody knows about. When you see it, someone who cannot help himself needs help. Your help. No, it doesn't mean you have to repair the car, just to pass on a message to someone who can. It can make all the difference to someone who otherwise could be stranded for hours.
Morning, saw the sign, how can I help?
It'll only take a few minutes of your time to find out what the trouble is, and then pass the message on to the breakdown services. So if you see a sign like this, help, pass the message on. It won't take long, but it could save a disabled person from a long and uncomfortable wait. Help, pass the message on.
A brilliant concept, but unfortunately it came around the time of piracy on the roads. And to those pirates, the sign may as well have read, "I am helpless, please rob me." Finally, For those who followed the COI's advice to the letter and made their houses and cars completely safe, there was one final danger in the 1980s that could keep them awake at nights. Nuclear war. Still, no need to worry about a few hundred nuclear weapons if you do what the government tells you, right? Wrong. Because the advice given in these public information films, known as Protect and Survive and narrated by Patrick Allen, was anything but useful.
A warning may come quite unexpectedly. We will now tell you what to do if a warning sounds when you are at home. And then we will explain what to do if you are out of doors. First, if you are at home. If attack is imminent, you will hear the attack sound like this. So take cover at once. Send your young children to the fallout room, then go quickly and turn off the gas and the electricity at the mains. Close down stoves. Damp down fires. Shut windows. And draw curtains. Then go to your fallout room and stay there. If the fallout warning sounds are heard, they will be like these. You should now move yourself and your family to the safest area in your fallout room. That is, you should get inside your inner refuge and stay there. After 2 days, the danger from fallout will get less, but don't take any risks by contact with it. The longer you stay in your refuge, the better it will be for you. Listen to your radio. Stay where you are and keep listening to your radio. Now, this is what you should do if you are out of doors.
As it happens, I'm fresh out of doors.
Take cover at once when you hear the attack sound. If you cannot reach home in 10 minutes, take cover in the nearest building. If there is no building nearby, try to find some solid cover.
I'm not sure a bridge really counts as solid cover.
If there is no solid cover, lie flat in a ditch or a hole and cover your head, face and hands as fast as you can with some of your clothes. If you hear the fallout warning, seek the nearest and best cover as quickly as you can. But before entering the building or cover, brush or shake off any fallout dust you may have picked up and get rid of it.
Yes, just shake off that pesky radioactivity. Go on, it won't hurt you.
When the all clear sounds, like this, it means that you are safe from attack or fallout for the time being, and that you can go out again. But keep listening for further warnings, or to your radio for further advice.
Radio 4. Here is the post-nuclear attack news. As of 6 minutes ago, Harlow Newtown has been called Harlow No Town.
casualties, but this is no time for etiquette.
And the all clear has been sounded. Arrangements will be made as soon as possible to treat any people who are ill or injured. Listen to your radio. Details will be given about what to do, when to do it, and how.
Good morning, this is Radio 1 and we have a dedication here from nobody to nobody. You know, it's a funny thing. They tell you when you become a disc jockey that you should pretend you're talking to yourself. I suppose this is what they meant, really.
Though I guess even during a nuclear attack you should be properly dressed.
If anyone dies while you are kept in your fallout room, move the body to another room in the house. Label the body with name and address, and cover it as tightly as possible in polythene, paper, sheets or blankets.
Some people would pay a lot of money for that sort of thing in Soho.
The radio will advise you what to do about taking the body away for burial. If, however, you have had a body in the house for more than 5 days, and if it is safe to go outside, then you should bury the body for the time being in a trench or cover it with earth, and mark the spot of the burial.
That is if your brain cells haven't been damaged by fallout. Oh well, at least that's all in the past now, and even if adverts back then were a lot like adverts today, we can still look back on them and laugh. Join us next time, when... Hey, what the flipping heck, I've got Artex in my tea.